I did part 1 of the pre-trip inspection. Now I'm doing part 2 of the pre-trip inspection. Well, not part 2, but part 3. In this video, we're going to finish the pre-trip inspection from the outside of the. We're going to finish this pre-trip inspection from the outside of the tractor. Okay. So, we're going to finish this pre-trip from the outside of the tractor. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. After you're done with the in-cab inspection of the pre-trip, next thing you want to start checking is your doors. You want to make sure that your door opens and closes properly. It is securely mounted. It is not damaged. You want to make sure that your door hinges are also securely mounted and they're not damaged. Okay? Next thing you want to check, oh yeah, you want to check your door hinges over here as well. I'm sorry. You want to check all your door hinges over here. Make sure all your door hinges are securely mounted. They're not damaged. Okay. Next thing you want to check is your driver mirror. You want to make sure that your mirrors are not damaged and your mirrors are not broken and there's no loose or missing hardware. You also want to make sure that your mirror, your drive side mirror is clean and clear and it is properly adjusted for safety purposes. All right. You want to check your side marker light. You want to make sure that your side marker light, left, right, 4 ways, clearance lights, reflector lights are clean and clear. They're not broken. They're not missing. They are the correct color, red on rear, amber elsewhere. Some truck drivers don't check this, but you want to check. Make sure you check your steps. Make sure that your steps on your driver's side are securely mounted. They're clean and clear. They're not damaged, and they're free of all debris. All right. Make sure you check these as well. Okay. Now we're going to move on to. Your catwalk. You want to make sure that your catwalk and steps. Again, please, guys, show some respect. Don't troll the video. Don't post any spammy links. Make sure whatever you're posting in the comment section is appropriate and it is professional and you're not offending other people. All right. Let's get back to it. So you want to check your catwalk and steps. You want to make sure that your catwalk and steps are securely mounted. They're free of all debris, and you have a solid and safe place to step. Next thing you want to check is your fuel tank. You want to make sure that your fuel tanks, both fuel tanks are securely mounted. They're not damaged. They're not leaking. Okay? You also want to check underneath, under your fuel tanks. Make sure that your fuel tanks are not leaking or anything like that. Okay? You want to make sure that your fuel cap, it is tightly connected. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. Okay? Now, we're going to move on to the upside down air reflectors on both sides. You want to make sure that your upside down air reflectors on the back of the cab are clean, they're secure, they are present, and they are reflective in nature. Okay? Your airlines. These are your airlines. Okay, these are your airlines. You want to make sure that your airlines are securely mounted on both sides. You want to make sure your airlines are securely mounted on both sides. You want to make sure that they're not damaged, they're not leaking, and you want to make sure that your airlines are not dragging on your tractor frame and catwalk. Okay, that's going to be very important, guys. You want to make sure that your glad hands, which you connect your airlines to, you want to make sure that your glad hands are securely mounted on both sides. I'm sorry, you want to make sure that your glad hands are locked in place free of all debris, no damage of any kind, and they are in good condition, and they are not leaking. Okay, not leaking. You want to make sure that your electrical cord. You want to make sure that your electrical cord is securely mounted on both sides. Okay, make sure your electrical cord is securely mounted on both sides. It is not damaged. It is not frayed, and it is also not dragging on your tractor frame and catwalk. Okay, so done with that part. Now we're going to move on. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this paper and use this pointer at the same time. Okay, now next thing we're going to check is our tractor frame. We're going to make sure that our tractor frame, it is not cracked. It is not cracked, broken, or damaged. You want to make sure there's no illegal welds and no aftermarket drill holes. Okay. Next thing you want to check is your drive shaft. You want to make sure that your drive shaft is not bent, twisted, cracked, or broken. You want to make sure that your U-joints are clean and free of all debris. Okay. Next thing you're going to check is you're going to check your rear suspension, your torque arm. You want to make sure that your torque arm is secured, not damaged. Your spring mounts. You want to make sure that your spring mounts are securely mounted. They're not cracked, broken, bent, or missing, and you have no missing or damaged or loose bushings. Okay? Next thing you want to check is your leaf spring. You want to make sure your leaf spring is not shifted, not cracked, not broken, not missing. All right. The next thing you want to check is your shock absorber. You want to make sure that your shock absorber, which is back here, you want to make sure that your shock absorber is securely mounted. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. Okay. You want to make sure that your upper and lower airbag mounts are secured and not damaged. You want to make sure that your airbag is also secured, it is not damaged, and it is not leaking. Okay? Next thing you want to check give me a second, guys. I'm trying to get myself together. Okay. Next thing you want to check is your brake hoses. You want to make sure that your brake hoses are securely mounted. They're not cracked, worn, or frayed, and they're not leaking. Okay. The next thing you want to check is your if I can find it. I know it's in here somewhere. It's down here somewhere. You can't go under the truck though when you're doing your inspection. But let's just say your slack adjuster and push rod, because you can't go deep up under the truck during your pre-trip inspection on your state test. But your slack adjuster and push rod, it is securely mounted with a cotter pin in place. It is not bent. It is not broken. It is not loose. There's no damage or missing parts. With brakes released, should have no more than 1 inch of movement when pulled by hand. Okay. Your brake chamber. Now your brake chamber is right here. Let me see if I can get my pointer up in here. Your brake chamber. Sorry guys. Your brake chamber is right here. You want to make sure that your brake chamber, it is securely mounted. It is not leaking. No cracks. No dents. No loose, damage, or missing clamps. Okay, your brake linings. You want to make sure that your brake linings, again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the front steer tire on the tractor. You want to make sure that your brake linings are not worn dangerously thin and they are not contaminated with grease or oil. You want to make sure that your brake drums, they're not cracked, they're not dented or broken. And you want to make sure that your brake linings are not contaminated with grease or oil. All right. Now, moving on to uh, your tractor wheels. Okay, and then now listen, guys, listen. On your state test, you must state that you are going to inspect both axles the same way. You have to state that on your test. You will inspect both axles the exact same way. All right. Now, tractor tires, ICD, again, inflation, condition, and depth. You want to make sure that your tires are properly inflated and checked with a tire gauge. You want to make sure that your valve stem cap, the valve stem cap is not broken, not loose, not missing, not leaking. All right. You want to check the condition of your tires. You want to make sure that the condition of your tires are worn evenly. They have no cuts, no gouges, no chunks to your tread and sidewall. All right. You want to make sure the depth of your rear tires are no less than 2 32nd tread depth. Okay. Remember, your front tires are no less than 4 32nd tread depth, and your rear tires are no less than 2 32nd tread depth. Okay, you guys got to remember that when you're taking your road test. All right, when you're taking your pre-trip inspection on your road test. Next thing we're going to move on to is the same. Again, I'm going to inspect this tire the same way I just inspected that front tire. Where was I at? Yeah, okay, your rims. You want to make sure that your rims are not damaged, they're not bent. You want to make sure that your rims are not damaged, they're not bent. There's no wells, there's no rust or powder trails indicating loose lug nuts. You want to make sure that your lug nuts are not loose, they're not missing, there's no cracks, and there's no distortion of the bolt holes. All right. You want to check. You want to check your bud spacing. I'm gonna give me a GoPro camera too, because I'm doing all this from my phone. So I'm gonna make sure I get a GoPro camera, for better, so I can record a lot better. All right, but your bud spacing between your dual tires, your bud spacing between your tractor dual tires must be proper. You have to make sure that you have proper spacing between your tractor dual tires. You want to make sure that your tractor dual tires are free of all debris. Okay, there's no debris between your tractor dual tires. Okay, something else. Okay, your axle seal on your rear tractor tires. You have to make sure that your axle seal is securely mounted. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. This one has no sight glass present, but the oil still should be filled to the proper level. All right. Your splash guards. Your splash guards. You have to make sure that your splash guards. No, these are your splash guards. I'm tripping. Your splash guards. You have to make sure that your splash guards are securely mounted. They're not damaged. And you have to make sure that your reflectors. You have to make sure that your reflectors are not damaged. They're clean. They're present. They're not missing. No, I'm sorry. This is not reflectors. This is your DOT reflector tape. You have to make sure that your DOT reflector tape is present and it is affixed. It is affixed and it is securely mounted. You have to make sure that it's present. You have to make sure that your DOT reflector tape is the correct color, red on red, amber elsewhere. Okay, next thing we're going to check is you're going to check your tractor lights. These are the tractor lights and reflectors. Your tractor lights and reflectors have 8 functions, which is the left, right, 4 ways, backup lights, tail lights, brake lights. They're all clean and clear. They're not broken. They're not missing. They are the correct color. Red on rear, amber elsewhere. All right. Now, I think I covered everything with the tractor. Now we're going to move on to the fifth wheel. Okay, going to move on to the fifth wheel. Your fifth wheel, this is let me see. Yeah, right here, this is your trailer apron. You want to make sure that your trailer apron is not bent, it is not cracked, it is not broken. Okay, your kingpin, which is in between your fifth wheel skid plate, your fifth wheel skid plate, and your platform base. Okay, you want to make sure that your kingpin, you can't see it unless you unhook the trailer, but your kingpin, it is not bent, it is not broken, and you have to make sure that there's no gap between your fifth wheel skid plate, which is right here, and your trailer apron. Okay, that's important. Then you want to make sure your fifth wheel pins, are locked in position and they are not damaged of any. There's no damage of any kind. Yes, you want to make sure that your fifth wheel pins are not damaged and in lock position. Okay, your mounting bolts. These are your mounting bolts. You want to make sure that your mounting bolts are not damaged, they're not missing, they're secured, and they're tight. Okay, your locking jaws. Your locking jaws are also, you have to make sure that your locking jaws are also securely mounted around the shank of the kingpin and it is not bent, broken, or damaged. Your platform base, this is the platform base. Your platform base, make sure that it is not cracked, not broken, and it is securely mounted. I'm missing something else too. Yeah, I meant to say your fifth wheel skid plate. You want to make sure your fifth wheel skid plate, your fifth wheel skid plate, you have to make sure that it is properly greased, it is securely mounted, and there is no damage, loose, or missing hardware. Okay, your release handle, which is right here, you want to make sure that your release handle, is in locked position, not bent, broke, or damaged. Okay. Now we're going to the front of the trailer. This is your trailer bulkhead or header board. Your trailer, you want to make sure that your trailer bulkhead and header board, it is secured, it is not damaged, it is able to hold freight. You want to make sure that your trailer reflector lights and your trailer lights are clean and clear. You want to make sure that your trailer reflector lights and your trailer lights are clean and clear. They're not broken, they're not missing, they are the correct color. Red on rear, amber elsewhere. All right. So, almost done. Now, trailer lights. Okay, now, we're inspecting, now we're getting ready to inspect the side of the trailer. We're inspecting the side of the trailer. My overall condition of my trailer is not damaged. Okay, my dot reflector tape, it is clean, it is secure, it is affixed securely, it is the correct color, red on rear, amber elsewhere. Okay, my tractor frame, and cross members are not damaged. My frame and floor is also not damaged, and I have no more than two missing rivets per cross member. Okay, you have to make sure you check that you have to check and make sure that your cross members have no more than 2 missing rivets. That's going to be very, very important. Okay, let's see. And when you go down the trailer doing your pre-trip inspection, you should have to continue to check your cross members. Check your rivets and make sure that your cross members are not missing more than 2 rivets. Okay, losing my train of thought. All right, let's see what else we check it. Landing gear. You want to make sure that your landing gear is fully raised. You want to make sure your landing gear is fully raised. You want to make sure that your landing gear has no missing parts. All right. You want to make sure that your frame and your frame and landing pads are not damaged or missing. Okay. You want to check your let's see, and again, I'm checking my rivets. I'm checking my rivets on my cross members, making sure that I don't have no more than 2 missing rivets per cross member. Now I'm checking my side marker light, checking my trailer side marker light, left, right, 4 ways, clearance lights, reflectors, side reflectors. They're not broken, they're not missing, they're not damaged. They are the correct color. Red on rear, amber elsewhere. Okay, let's see what else. My sliding tandem pins. Let me see. No. Over here. Yeah, okay. All right. My sliding tandem pins. Okay, these are your sliding tandem pins. You have to make sure that your sliding tandem pins are locked in position and they're not damaged. Your tandem release handle. It is also secured. It is not damaged. It is in locked position. All right, guys. Now we got to go through the same old, BS again. But this is what you have to do during your pre-trip. Okay, again, we're now getting ready to inspect the trailer suspension. You can't go under the trailer because if you go under the trailer, that's an automatic failure. So this is what we're going to do. Same thing. Torque arms. Securely mounted, not damaged. Spring mounts. Not cracked, not broken. Can't really see because I can't go under the trailer. But again, okay, your torque arm, it is secured, it is not damaged. Your spring mounts, not cracked, not broken, not missing, not damaged, no loose damage or missing hardware, no loose damage or missing bushings. Your leaf spring can't really go up under this trailer, that's the thing. But your leaf springs, which are up under here, your leaf springs, they're not shifted, they're not cracked, they're not broken, they're not missing. Your U-bolts, same thing, they're up under here. Your U-bolts are not broken, they're not missing, and there's no loose, damage, or missing bolts. Your brake hoses. I think your brake hoses are like right here. Your brake hoses are securely mounted. They're not cracked, worn, or frayed, and they're not leaking. Brake chamber, that's going to be somewhere up under here. Same thing, brake chamber, securely mounted, not leaking, no cracks, no dents, no loose, damage, or missing clamps. Slack adjuster and push rod, securely mounted with cotter pin, not bent, broken, loose, or damaged. No missing parts. With brakes release, should have no more than 1 inch of movement when pulled by hand. I'm going to inspect both axles. I'm going to inspect both axles the same way. Brake linings, not worn dangerously thin, not contaminated with grease or oil. Brake drums, not cracked, no dents, no holes, not contaminated with grease or oil. Your trailer dual tires, ICD, inflation condition depth. Trailer dual tires are properly inflated, checked with tire gauge. And let's see. Okay, yeah. Valve stem and cap is not broken, not loose, not damaged, not missing, not leaking. All right. The condition of my tires. The condition of my tires are worn evenly. There's no cuts, no chunks, no gouges to my trailer tires, to my trailer sidewall, and no, let me repeat that again. The condition of my trailer tires are worn evenly. No cuts, no damage to my tread or sidewall. Okay? The tire depth on my tread tires are no less than 2/32 tread depth. Okay? My rims are not damaged. They're not bent. There's no wells, and there's no rust or powder trails indicating where it is, but just doing this for state test purposes. My rims, they're not damaged. They're not bent. No wells, no rust or powder indicating loose lug nuts. My lug nuts are not missing. They're not loose. They're not cracked, and there's no distortion of my bolt holes. My bud spacing between my rear trailer tires is proper, and my bud spacing between my dual trailer tires is free of all debris. All right. Hub oil and axle seal. Now, this axle seal has a sight glass present, which means that the oil should be filled to the proper level, and it is also securely mounted. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. Okay. Let's see. Splash guards. My splash guards are not damaged. They're securely mounted. Now we're going to move on to the back of the rear back of the trailer. I don't know if this has a door tie. I'm assuming this is the door tie. Okay. The door tie on the back rear of my trailer, it is securely mounted. My side marker light, it is clean. It is not broken. It is not missing. It is the correct color. My side marker light is clean, clear, not broke, not missing. It is the correct color, red on rear, amber elsewhere. My trailer ABS brake light or marker light, it is clean, it is clear, it is not broken. It is also the correct color, red on rear, amber elsewhere. Okay. My trailer door and hinges. My trailer door, and my trailer hinges. All of my trailer hinges. They're not damaged. They open and close and latch properly. My trailer dot reflector tape. It is clean, clear, it is affixed, it is present. It is also the correct color. Red on rear. Gosh, I hate when people call me when I'm doing lives. Let me try this again. My trailer dot reflector tape. It is clean, it is clear, it is affixed, it is the correct color. Red on rear, amber elsewhere. Okay, my tractor lights and reflectors. My tractor lights and reflectors, left, right, four ways. Tail lights, brake lights, clearance lights. They're all clean and clear. They're not missing. They are the correct color, red on rear, amber elsewhere. Now, I'm going to inspect the right side of the trailer the same way I just inspected the left side of my trailer, with one exception. All right. And again, I'm checking to make sure that I have no more than 2 missing rivets per cross member on this side, on the right side of the trailer. And I'm making sure that my trailer, the right side of my trailer side marker light, it is not missing. It is also the correct color. All right. Now, this is No. This is my fifth wheel skid. This is my fifth wheel handle. This is my fifth wheel skid plate handle. As you see, it is secure. It is in lock position. It is not damaged. Now, I'm going to check my exhaust system. And again, as you see, I'm also checking the right side of my fuel tank. It is securely mounted. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. I'm checking my fuel cap. It is also securely mounted. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. Okay, now I'm going to check my exhaust system. I'm checking my exhaust system. As you see, it is tightly connected. It is securely mounted. It is not loose. And there are also no loose or missing clamps. And I'm checking this, for signs of any leaks that's coming from my exhaust system. And I'm making sure that my exhaust system pipe has no black soot. If you see any black soot if you see any black soot on your exhaust pipe, that means that your exhaust system is leaking. All right. So that's it. I have successfully completed my entire pre-trip inspection for my state CDL test. Hope you guys enjoy this, all of my pre-trip inspections, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, a safe day, and a prosperous day. Take care of each other. Peace.